What is up with y'all boys? It's your boy 2Natural. We're back with another video. It's been a long time coming. We're doing the NFL Rivals running back tier list, updated version. It's been like 4 months since I dropped this last one, so a lot has changed since then. I just put up the last tier list from last time. I did take out the rares because if we're going over all the rares, that's just going to take way too long. I did take notes on this video, so this should be way faster than my past tier list videos. Just a quick recap before we get started. Remember that tier rankings are purely based on stats, not the price or the rarity. And then stats I weight in order are speed, endurance, acceleration, quickness, and then power/skill move are about equal, as well as strength. Stats that I don't weigh at all in my calculations are carrying. There's no fumbles, so no reason for a carry stat. Catch or insane catch. I used to value catch highly, but doesn't really matter unless you want to get the diving catch, and that's just going to burn more time off the clock, so it's not really that good in competitive. Presence, I don't see what presence does. Jump, you don't jump. And then blocking stats, I don't think the running back is blocking for anyone really. So yeah, okay, so let's get right into it. First, let's adjust the previous tier list we had based on the new meta, new cards that have come out. So we have Kamara. Obviously Kamara's going to stay S tier. He's still one of the fastest cards in the game. He's a mythical. Very hard to beat the value you're getting with Kamara here. Miles Sanders is, let's recap his stats, 117 overall, 132 speed, 114 power, 104 skill, 129 quickness, 121 acceleration, 113 endurance, 97 strength. So Miles Sanders used to have top flight speed. With the power creep or the stats increase and new cards coming out, we've seen new cards that go way past 130, 140 speed. So for me, that really hurts Miles Sanders' value. So Miles Sanders is going to get moved to C tier. Next, let's go over Bijan. So Bijan is interesting. To be honest, I'm not really sure where Bijan lands. I do have to rank him in relation to other things, just because with the rookie upgrades, Bijan has definitely stayed relevant, getting plus 10 power since the last time we made the video. But then again, it's been hard for me to find his rookie base stats for the upgraded version because my version is level 14. So I just tried to take those level 14 stats and compare them to other similar cards. But I don't have those stats, so my ranking might be a bit off. But for now, we're going to put him in low B tier. Ezekiel Elliott, let's go over his stats again. 119 overall, 120 speed, 120 power, 123 skill, 129 quickness, 117 excel, 140 endurance, 107 strength. So Ezekiel Elliott right now he's a fine back. He's good all around. He's not going to sell you. He doesn't have particularly good stats, but he doesn't have a particularly bad stat either. His endurance is pretty decent. I would put him still behind Miles Sanders, but he's now a C tier card. Just because his speed isn't quite up there. His speed, quickness, excel isn't quite up there. Gibbs, again, is a rookie. I'm not really sure where he stacks up, to be honest, because, like I said, I've been having trouble finding base stats for the new upgraded rookie cards. I think Gibbs is still only plus 5 power, but that plus 5 does make a big difference for me because now, before he was ranked below Sanders, I have him above Sanders as a high to mid C tier card. With that little extra stat boost he got from the rookie boost. There's potential for more. I don't see him hitting it. He would need to get a lot of carries, and he's been pretty... Dan Campbell has just been giving Monty everything. He's injured. I don't think Gibbs is getting any more boosts the rest of the season, personally. And then Khalil Herbert now. Khalil Herbert's stats are almost joke stats, man. I mean, but that's to be expected when you have the overall of a base card, I guess. If you look at, he has 104 speed, terrible. 133 power is decent. That's his only decent stat. It's a good stat, but power is a terrible stat in general. I do factor it, but it's a very small factor. And then if you look, 105 skill move, mid, 91 quickness, 96 acceleration, 91 endurance, 91 strength. It's terrible stats across the board. This is just a terrible card. It's a meme card at this point. It deserves its own tier, and we are making a new tier. Oops, wait, we changed the D tier. Hold up, D tier should be green. We are making a new tier just for Khalil Herbert, and this is called the Khalil Herbert tier. And we are moving him down here. Absolute joke of a card, like Absolute disgrace of a card. It makes me want to vomit looking at the stats of Khalil Herbert. Anyways, let's hop into the new cards now that we have our updated tier list. DeAndre Swift, 109 overall, but 139 speed is insane. 139 speed is top end. 151 quickness is also great. Now the drawback for this big speed on an epic card, one of the best speeds in the game for epics, is you do have only 81 endurance, so he's not really great for long field runs. He's going to gas out really quickly. He's not going to get you like, I would say like 40, 50 yards. He's going to be good for 2 points, very fast if you need the quick short run. He's going to be one of the best options, but his power skill move is just average. So he does have drawbacks. He still has better speed than Bijan, but Bijan has way better overall endurance, etc. So we're gonna put him B tier. I would say between one of these. It depends if you like using your running back passing and you need that extra endurance to get those extra yards downfield, or if you mainly just use your back for 2-point conversions, which in that case I would pick Swift. Next running back, I need to stop scrolling because it moves tier list. Josh Jacobs from Rewind. By the way, we're going in promo order or like release day order from oldest to newest. So yeah. So Josh Jacobs, 126 overall, 121 speed, 148 power is very good. 121 skill move, 123 quickness, 124 acceleration, 153 endurance, 117 strength. Josh Jacobs legendary, pretty mid legendary. His power and endurance are great. We do like those stats. Those are great stats. Unfortunately, the rest of his kit, including the speed, quickness, acceleration, is rather mid. He's close to Bijan. I was debating putting Bijan down in C tier, but I would put him obviously ahead of the epics, I think. Close to Gibbs, but I would put him top of C tier. Solid all-around back, not a terrible legendary. Just very mid overall. Now we get into Eckler. Honestly, I'm still shocked they released this card. This card is just game-breaking. For an epic card that was available to like a bunch of people, I don't remember exactly how many copies there are, probably 150, 250. So they did the opposite of, you know, when they like stat pad, they raise the power by putting the stats into all the stats that like don't matter, like presence and catch, and they tell you it's a great card, right? This is the exact opposite of that card. They literally stat loaded. They gave him the lowest power they could they gave him the highest power you could give an epic card while keeping it epic at the epic distribution rates. And they gave him like game-breaking stats at the time, in my opinion. Not game-breaking because Kamara was already out, but like you basically got Kamara value. You got Kamara value. He was faster than, yeah, you got Kamara value for an epic price. No, he was still pretty expensive, but like for an epic rarity card, it's just insane. I don't really have to go over this card because you guys know how game-breaking this card was. 150 speed. 160 quickness, 140 acceleration, 130 endurance, 140 strength. So everything is amazing across the board there. I don't know why they gave him 140 strength, 70 power, but the endurance is okay. It's not elite anymore. It used to be really good, but it's just middle of the pack now. Very good still, but not great. And then 70 power, 80 skill move is not great, but it's very low on our RB weightings. So I would still put him in S tier, honestly. Obviously, I would still take Kamara. Kamara level caps way higher and has better overall stats. But Eckler has all the stats you need, all the stats that matter. I don't see Eckler being phased out of the game for a very long time. I think it's still going to be a great card for months to come, if not years. Najee Harris. Now, this is one of our first bad cards. I played with this card, unfortunately, during Rivals or during kickoff because I need to hit rewards. Not a good experience. Only 110 speed, one of the worst out of this list we're going to rank. Rest of the stats are okay all around. 123 power, 124 skill move, 104 quickness, 104 acceleration, 134 endurance, 107 strength. This is a build you're going to see for a lot of backs that I guess are more like plotters. They just don't have good speed, quickness, acceleration, but their endurance is really high. It's like a budget version of this Josh Jacobs card, I would say. But Josh Jacobs has just way better stats across the board to begin with, which is what makes him at least passable. This Najee ends up just having really terrible physical stats, and the endurance isn't even that great because it's an epic. So it's our first D tier card. Mixon now. 122 overall, 123 speed, 119 power, 123 skill, 123 quickness, 119 acceleration, 138 endurance, 116 strength. This is another kind of plotter card. Very similar build to Jacob's, except you don't get that exceptional power and you don't get as good endurance, which I guess is kind of expected since he's 4 overall less. Let me actually look. Let me actually look how this dude stacks up compared to the other. He stacks up very, very similar. I would honestly take. I'm looking at his stats compared to Ezekiel Elliott right now, and I think I would honestly take Zeke. It's very close, but Mixon I would say is a bad legendary card. He goes below Elliott in the C tier rankings. I think he's honestly worse than Zeke or any of these other options. He's not going to sell you, but he's not going to be a great card, a game changer, not really. Aaron Jones, 120 overall, 124 speed, 123 power, 116 skill, 133 quickness, 129 acceleration, 117 endurance, 96 strength. Again, I would put this as a mid to low C tier card. I don't think it's that different. You got 1 speed over Mixon, 4 power move, but you sacrifice 7 skill move, and you get the extra quickness and acceleration at the cost of 21 endurance. I would say it's interchangeable between these two. Overall, for a legendary price, for a legendary card, these are not good cards. So I would stay away from those legendaries. I'll put them below. It depends what you're looking for. They're really interchangeable. I don't care. Saquon. This is a pretty solid. This was a kickoff tournament reward, if I remember correctly. So Saquon is a 136 overall card, one of the higher legendaries. And he has great stats. 139 speed, 141 power move, 150 skill move, 150 quickness, 145 endurance. The acceleration is okay, 125. It's not game breaking like the rest of his stats. And 125 strength is good, very good for a running back. Overall, I would say Saquon is a great card for a certain play style. I think Saquon is a great card for a certain play style. He's very fast, great overall physical stats, and also those great skill moves. So you're going to get a lot of truck animations, a lot of your spins or jukes, if you decide to do those, which you probably shouldn't, are going to be good. Not quite as good as the mythical cards. By the way, I decided I'm going to move Austin Eckler down a tier. He's going to be high A tier, very high A tier. So I would say Saquon is very comparable. Eckler is a lot faster. Has great stats again. I would almost always take Eckler, but some people might have more fun with Barkley. Barkley is a great legendary card. Amazing legendary card. The best legendary running back. The legendary running backs have been honestly really disappointing so far. Now we get on to Devon Achane. This one, when I heard he was getting a gritter on standouts, I called it in the Discord already on Sunday when he had that huge game. I mean, he's had huge games every week. Unfortunately, he's out or looking doubtful for now. My fantasy team is in shambles, but let's get back to rivals. And yeah, I mean, they juiced this card. He has 144 speed, 89 power, 124 skill, 121 quickness, 118 acceleration, 92 endurance, 68 strength. Overall, I would say this is very much of a DeAndre Swift. This is very much of a DeAndre Swift mold card. You get better speed, 5 more speed. Puts him among the top speedster running backs in the game. But the rest of his stats are not good. His power is terrible. His endurance is terrible. His strength is terrible. You get a little more endurance from Achane, but you give up the quickness and acceleration stats. It's a pick-em between who you want, between him and Swift. I would say we're going to put Swift still above him because I think the quickness and acceleration outweighs the extra endurance because you're not using these cards for endurance, to be honest. So you'll see we kind of do have a pattern forming here. S and A are obviously the top cards. B cards are really speedsters with huge flaws. Basically the only good stats are speed, but they have no endurance, or they have other massive gaping holes in their stats. And then C's just all-arounders. They don't have great speed, but they're solid all around. Bijan, I would say, is very close to a C tier card, fits that description. But because of the rookie boost, he's boosted pretty high for a rookie card for a legendary. So he is getting pushed into B tier. And then D and F is just bad stats. And we're getting another bad stats card. Rojo, terrible card. 110 power, 108 speed, 81 power, 97 skill. Terrible. 161 quickness, 143 acceleration is actually really good. So they gave him crazy physical, but they couldn't give him the speed, which it doesn't really make that much sense to me. I mean, I honestly don't know why he has a card. I don't think he's even in the league right now, to be honest, which is kind of crazy to me, but I guess NFLPA still has his rights. I feel like he should have gotten a rare. No disrespect to Rojo. I mean, I love my SC guys, but he just hasn't been an NFL caliber running back for a while now, unfortunately. Anyways, yeah. I think I'm going to put him above of Najee. I actually do want to try playing with this card if I do get him, just because I want to see how that quickness and acceleration plays out with such a low speed. Obviously, he's not going to be good as a great overall running back, but I want to see if maybe that quickness and acceleration means he's actually really maneuverable, really fast off the snap in 2-point conversions. That might be interesting. I might revise my ranking after playing with him. But yeah, okay, we had 3 cards left. Let's pop through them. Kenneth Walker 3, the newest legendary running back. 125 overall, 145 speed, 122 power, 105 skill, 154 quickness, 139 acceleration, 108 endurance, 85 strength. So this is another one of those cards. Great physical stats. I mean, great physical stats, great speed, great quickness, great acceleration. His skill move is okay, and then his endurance and strength is also okay to low end. Comparing this card to Saquon, you get the extra speed, quickness, acceleration, but you do sacrifice the power and skill move. Saquon is a lot higher overall. I honestly would still take this Kenneth Walker card above him, and I would still take Eckler above Kenneth Walker though. Eckler has the extra 5 speed, 6 quickness. 6 quickness, and then 1 acceleration. Eckler's still the better card in my opinion. Kyren Williams, latest gritter on standouts. As always, love to see my Rams getting some love. Kyren has been balling this season, touchdown monster. But unfortunately, his stats here are just okay. 125 speed, 90 power, 88 skill, 149 quickness, 144 acceleration, 178 strength. So they actually did load him up in like one of these guys like Kenneth Walker, Saquon build, honestly. They gave him, honestly, very solid all-around stats and great quickness, acceleration, almost like this Rojo, but he actually has a game-usable speed. Let me compare him to the other guys we looked at, because I think he's going to obviously land in C tier. You can't really land higher than C tier unless your speed is over 130 at level 1. He has better speed than Jacobs. Way worse power skill move. That's not weighted that high. He has better quickness and acceleration, worse endurance, and then about equal strength, or no, Jacobs has better strength. I would say he's very high C tier. High C tier, very solidly still in C tier. I don't think there's a situation where you move him up or down, but I think C tier. I would honestly probably take him above Jacobs. Not a bad pull. Can definitely be your starting running back if you pull him. And then we're going to close out with Derrick Henry. I mean, the stats for this, he's not officially out yet, but we can see his stats in the candy shop. Obviously, I mean, it's a debate between him and Kamara. It should be, but he's the best running back in the game. Like, no question. These stats are crazy. 153 speed, more speed than Kamara. 186 power, 156 skill, 122 quickness, 131 acceleration. So the quickness excel is where Kamara hasn't beat, but you can't beat 153 speed and then 180 endurance, 148 strength. The 153 speed, 180 endurance is a crazy combo because this dude is not going to get tired. He's going to play just like real life Henry. Crazy fast, doesn't accelerate that fast, but once he gets up to speed, man, he's going to be impossible to stop. If you try to get in his way, you somehow catch up, he's just going to bam, get that bam animation, truck right through you. I really, really hope we get this card. This is going to be a beast of a card. Obviously, we're going to put him top of the S tier. So that's the tier list for today. Let me know what you guys think of it. Did I put people too high, too low? I feel like this is really solid. Did a ton of research on this. Shout out Tango for keeping a stats database. That really helped. And yeah, Tune Eddie out. See y'all next video.